It's time to go into business for yourself. Get ready for another episode of the Franchise Academy Podcast. Education, insight, and inspiration. Here's your host, small business and franchise expert, Tom Scarda.
And welcome to another episode of the Franchise Academy. This is our Franchise FrontRunner podcast. This is a sub-podcast within our franchise podcast. And this is all about franchisees that are making it happen in the field. So I'm really excited to have with me a fantastic franchisee and a franchise owner of two different franchises, actually. One with her husband and one on her own. So I want to welcome in Trisha Stetzel.
It's all right, Tom. It's all right, Tom. It's like pretzel.
Sounds like pretzel.
It's all good.
And so Trisha's the franchisee of Fetch Pet Care of Clear Lake, Texas. And we're going to talk a little bit about franchising and what she's been up to these days. So welcome, Trisha.
Thank you, Tom.
This is so great to have you on. I'm so excited.
Well, and I appreciate the invitation.
This is so great. How many units do you have?
I actually own 2 units. I initially bought 1 unit and several months later realized that growth was a good opportunity for me. So I bought a second unit.
Well, that's so cool. And so how long have you been in this franchise?
Right at 12 years. I'm just a few weeks shy of 12 years.
Wow. So was your contract 10 years, your agreement?
It was, yes, sir. So I just re-signed my contract.
Wow, good for you. That is awesome. And so what did you do before franchising?
So before franchising, I actually spent several years in the military serving the country. I was in the United States Navy for 8 years. Upon leaving the United States Navy, I decided that I wanted to be part of corporate America, and I spent about 10 years with IBM as well.
Wow. So thank you for your service.
Thank you.
My dad was a Navy guy, so
okay.
That's cool. I didn't know that about you.
Go Navy.
Cool. Yeah. That is so cool. So what is your greatest lesson learned or your greatest victory in business so far?
For me, it's really realizing that you don't have to be alone. The word solopreneur comes to mind. Particularly when I talk to other business owners where we're kind of out on an island, and it doesn't have to be that way, especially with a franchise. You can reach out to the other franchisees, the franchisor, and be part of a bigger community. That's one of the great things about being part of a franchise system.
It sure is. What do you wish you knew now or back then before you started a franchise?
I know I probably told you something else, but the first thing that comes to mind today is, I didn't know much about business. I really thought buying into a franchise would make things easy, like, hey, here's the business, it's going to be successful. And really, as a franchise owner or even just a business owner, you have to know a little bit about business and building relationships. And I would have spent a lot more time doing that initially versus on the back end. Okay.
Very well said. And you're right. Just because you buy a franchise does not mean it's going to be easy. It's actually will probably be the hardest thing you ever do, but also the most satisfying and most gratifying.
Oh, absolutely. It's all worth it in the end, but you definitely have to understand that it's hard no matter what. But the neat thing, again, about being a franchisee is that there's others out there, right, that you can lean on and help, ask for help.
So great. Absolutely. So, Trisha, what's the best business book you've ever read?
For my favorite business book is The E-Myth Revisited. It really talks about working on your business instead of in your business. And I think that's a great lesson for anyone.
Absolutely. I can't tell you how many people call that their best or favorite.
I can imagine.
It's so great. Who is your greatest mentor in franchising?
Gosh, from a franchise perspective, I don't know that I have one particular person in franchising. I know the second time around with our second franchise, which I hope to revisit you and talk about that one The CEO of that particular franchise has been really wonderful in helping me understand how franchise systems can work in a great way. But one of the people that I really love to follow, actually two people, Brian Tracy and Tony Robbins. I read a lot of their work and watch a lot of their videos, and I've actually been to live seminars as well. And it's been really, I guess, moving for me in the way of growing my business.
Super. Love that. You could say what the franchise is and the CEO.
Okay, so just a little plug, right? So Focal Point is the second franchise that my husband and I purchased, and Steve Thompson has been a wonderful mentor to me.
That's awesome. What advice could you give to somebody, Trisha, who's thinking about buying a franchise right now as they're listening to this podcast?
I would say when choosing a franchise, if you have several choices in front of you, choose something you're passionate about. I have engaged with people who have been in the pet industry, obviously with the one that I'm in, and most of the people who buy into this particular franchise are certainly passionate about pets and animals. But I've met other people who have bought into franchises and done things that they're not so passionate about. Not everyone is passionate about maybe a salon or yogurt or pizza or something like that. You really have to be passionate and understand what's your why behind purchasing a franchise.
What's your why, right?
Yes. Simon Sinek. I think that's who I wrote on my paper to you, because he has been, in the last probably 18 months, somebody that I've read a lot of books and really watch his videos and all of the things that he's doing on a regular basis. Simon Sinek is amazing when it comes to positive energy.
Yeah, he is. And coincidentally, he just spoke about 4 days ago at the International Franchise Association's national meeting in Orlando. So that's pretty funny that you bring that up. You had mentioned something about find your tribe. What do you mean by that?
So it's the people who are going to support you in business, in life. I often will tell people you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And if your tribe happens to be a bunch of average people, if you're the average of them, does that make you below average? Potentially. So find your tribe, the people who will challenge you, support you. They're smarter than you. They're faster than you. They have more energy than you. Those people will lift you up and help you grow your business and be the best success you can be.
Wow. That is powerful stuff right there. And that's like my grandmother in her old Italian accent used to say, show me your friends and I'll show you who you are.
That is absolutely true.
Love that. Trisha, I want to thank you for being on the Franchise FrontRunner podcast. It's been an honor to have you. Can't wait to get you on with Focal Point Coaching.
Yes, thank you so much, Tom. I really appreciate the invitation, and I feel honored to have been on your show today.
Oh, thank you so much. Great talking with you, and we'll talk soon.
Perfect.
This has been another episode of the Franchise Academy Podcast. For more info, go to our website, thefranchiseacademypodcast.com. Remember to subscribe to Tom Scarda's YouTube channel for educational videos on franchising, education, insight, and inspiration.